Hello everybody and welcome back to Frostpunk here where things are in a little bit of a tough situation. We have about 9 hours of active coal left. We're trying to get that sorted. We've got a new coal thumper here, but we're just waiting on the new workday to start, and we do have a very cold period coming in, so I don't know what we're going to do in order to combat this, but as soon as it turns daytime we're going to have to kind of go pedal to the metal in order to be able to do what we need to do. We also have some scouts coming back with wood and steel and some more steam cores, but not for a little while. And our other scout team is out and about doing other things. We could potentially get a third scout team out, that might be quite useful. We also probably want to think about more tech as well. This outpost depot, but that requires wood, and we're not going to get that until either we get enough wood from our kind of collection pile or from when they come back. In the meantime, we're going to have to find another way. We've got a sawmill here, but that's not going to be in operation for a little while, and it is very cold there. Thankfully it's only 40 degrees at the moment, but it will drop to 70 just for a day, and then we'll drop back up, only to 50. So it's not great. Lots of people are ill, understandably. This cookhouse we can probably turn back on should we need to. Everywhere else is pretty much back online. Let's resume operations wherever we can, really. Cold is not great, but it might just have to do. I want to save the insulation for this period here, but we could probably do a overdrive for a little while. Let's do an overdrive for a little while. Everyone's now heated up. Wonderful, apart from this place. These places kind of around the edge. These bunkhouses over here aren't doing too great either. But we can do a little bit of time. But our coal is getting very low indeed, and once the coal runs out we could be in a very big problem. The automaton is doing his best to keep up with demand. Until this coal thumper starts producing more coal, we could be in a bit of an issue. Because if we have a look at our economy, our coal's not doing enough. We might need to turn off some heaters somewhere until we can kind of get the amount that we need. We're going to turn this heater off. That's going to make it even colder. But all these places here are comfortable, but that's only because we've got the generator on. I don't know what the best way forward here is. We can probably turn that off for the time being. A medical post. We have an issue here. Another theft. The captainers are stealing again. Sorry, the Londoners are stealing again. They're taking 33 food rations from the stockpiles. People are angry. The Londoners put their crazy idea for the needs of the city. We are going to send guards to retrieve them, even if it comes at a bit of a cost in terms of relations. People aren't going to be happy that food is being stolen. We are really low on coal. These guys aren't bringing back any coal, neither of these guys either. It's not great, it must be said. 5 hours left. They're caught in the act. Our guards did a good job. Now they got the goods back, but more importantly they caught one of the thieves. Now we can put an end to the thievery. Should we do that? Let him go, but we'll have to prepare a place for him soon. We can banish him. The person will leave the city forever. Or the people will decide his fate. We will banish him, I think. Because first of all, to get sort of a Londoner. Yeah, we're starting to run into some troubles here. And I'm not sure how really we're going to cope with it, because 5 hours is not going to last us very long. Because we're consuming 21 coal an hour. And at the moment we're not producing anywhere near enough. As soon as it turns daytime, hopefully we might get the coal we need, but up until that point we're in some trouble. I don't want to put them onto a 24-hour shift, but I will put them onto probably a foreman shift. The Londoners have gained more followers, up to 61 now. That's going to be a big loss of people when that comes in, that's for sure. Let's just have a look at what our scouts are doing in the meantime. One's going over to... Okay, one's returning home, and one's going all the way out to the snow cliff, because I'm intrigued by that lonely person out there. I'd like to build an outpost there to deliver wood in. That would be useful. Hopefully by the time they're on the way back we should be able to do that. In the meantime, coal is really the main issue here. This gathering post can't gather anything because this coal thumper isn't producing stuff just yet. But they should be starting to produce now. It's going to start producing 33 coal per hour. You guys are also on the longer shift as well. I need these guys to start producing coal quickly. Let's put some coal in there. These guys are also producing coal, so okay, let's turn that off. Because otherwise we're not going to have enough production between the two. 18.5, okay, that is enough, just about. Still only gathering about 4 hours, that's not ideal. But these are mostly children collecting, so I'm just going to turn that off and put on workers instead, because I'm hoping that's going to increase how it's going. Speaking of gathering post, that also needs to go back onto the later times, because we just need coal. It's going to make people angry, but we don't really have another choice, to be honest. We need the coal. We're down to 174 now. With everyone working on coal, we might have enough, just. But if there's any other coal piles around, there isn't really. There's a coal pile there, we'll send out who we can, including the children. Which isn't ideal, it must be said. There are 2 coal piles over here, so in fact we could probably do this more efficiently if we... Okay, for now we'll leave them there, but if we can build a gathering post, which only requires a bit more wood than we have. There's no one to work in here, however. What do we not need at the moment? Like, in terms of workers, what can we shut off? Oh dear me, we're running into some trouble now, that's for sure. Cookhouse, they're cooking, we definitely need that. Guard station, we may not need all the people on there. Where's the coal? Okay, so they're collecting the coal pile now, but we also need wood. We have some wood coming back in about 7 hours, but I fear that's going to be too late for our purposes. It's too cold to work inside that cookhouse, so we'll turn that off. I think we also have some people inside the pub where they don't really need to be. Yes, we do. We'll put one guy in there. We're going to put some people in the wood. We'll put 6 workers in the wood. It's not going to be great, but it will do enough. Street's not connected to the generator. That's not because people aren't building it. We can turn this off, and we'll work towards this gathering post for the moment. But I want this street to be connected in the meantime. Yeah, definitely kind of on the edge here in terms of our resources. You're collecting from there. The gathering post is also collecting from here, I believe. They are indeed, excellent. Put some more children on there. Basically anywhere which can gather more coal for the time being is useful. I don't know why this road isn't being built, but I'm hoping someone's going to go build it now. Interesting. Definitely a tough situation. And it's going to come right at the worst time when the temperature drops significantly. I don't know. These guys aren't even bringing back any coal, that's the problem. If the coal goes off, then we're in a whole world of issues. Oh, goodness me. Okay, I'm stressing out slightly. We'll put everyone back in coal for collection just to try and get something until we get the wood that we need from either here or from the sawmill. No one's building this road, which is really rather frustrating. But we're just going to have to make it work somehow. Just want to build the outpost, so we don't need to rely on our sawmill as much. And we can focus on the coal maybe, but it's very cold over there. And sending out people to their deaths is not really a good idea, especially as we're mostly sending out children. We're buying ourselves a little bit of time, but it's going to, at the current rate, it's going to run out in the early morning, which is not ideal. The automaton, of course, will work through the night, but not enough really. We need this wood back from these guys here. I don't know how long it takes to build an automaton. But it also requires more steel as well, which we don't have. But we probably will. When with these guys back, we'll be able to build another one. So as soon as these guys are back, we build a factory and we build a gathering post out to buy these last 2 coal deposits. I think that's what we have to do, really. Road. Let's try build a road, but we're not going to have the wood to make it all the way there, I don't think. We can do that. That's fine. In terms of roads, we seem to be struggling a bit to get them built. I don't know why. Or perhaps it's not connected. That might be it. We're out of wood, but I'm hoping if the road is now connected, there shouldn't be an issue with this road anymore. Okay, we have a new way of doing things. Help the amputees. Few amputations. Sir, the doctor who is trying to improve radical treatment is here. He has reported a breakthrough. It is certainly an unorthodox method, and my learned colleagues would be appalled at the experiments I had to perform, but it works. I expect the number of amputations during radical treatment to be halved. Well done, sir. Doesn't give us any benefits to discontent and hope, but it might mean that our medical issues are kind of not in so much a bad position anymore. But we need to resolve our coal situation. We're doing okay for the time being, but it's not going to last forever. I don't know what's going on here with this road, but it means that people aren't collecting because the street's not connected to the generator. Until that wood comes back, we're not going to be able to do anything really. There we go. The units has returned to the city. Okay, pause. Pause straight away. Build me an automaton. I don't know how we get them to do this. I think they might have just done so already. Oh yes, there they go. It seems like it doesn't take them that long to build, to be honest, which is quite good. Let's send the scout team back out. We can go to the walled colony. No movement or smoke. Or then we can send them to the fishing village. Both are quite far away. 2 days, 3 hours. 2 days, 8 hours. We'll go to the fishing village first. We already have some going over this way. We probably want to find a way to speed up our scouts. There is a tech to do that, but I feel like it's going to take too long at the moment. Right, let's get a gathering post down here. We may not always need it, but it's useful to have it in the vicinity. If we could get it like there. I'd like to be able to get the wood as well, but we probably don't need to. Let's just place it there for the time being. Yeah, we'll build it there. And we'll make sure it's connected. There we go. And that should hopefully ensure that this moves a little bit quicker. We can actually, I was about to say take people off coal production, but they're going to come off anyway if they're not on the later shift. How's the the factory's going to stop for the day, isn't it? Oh, damn. Oh no, they're still going, but they're not going to get it done in time, I don't think. Can we put you onto a... We can put you onto a work... We can put you onto a 24-hour shift, but discontent is not good when you do that. Let's... We could foreman. I don't know if that's going to do enough in terms of efficiency. It may not get it built in time, but I would really like it to, because 12 hours of coal is not going to last us very long. But I don't think they're going to make it in the remaining hour. They might do if we're lucky, but I just don't want to go on to an emergency shift. I think that's an unnecessary thing to do, especially for the factory, because we're not going to be able to build another one. We could build some prosthesis, but I feel like the metal is more important for other things, and we didn't get that done. That's a shame. But presumably that will still run in the morning. The foreman shift, yeah. I don't know if we can do that everywhere or if we can just do that in one place. It seems like we can do it everywhere, but it does of course cost food rations. 12 hours of coal, interesting. Let's speed up time and see how we do. These guys are going to take off because it's too cold for them to work there, especially children. At least in the gathering post they have some level of insulation. We can put the children on there to gather from those 2 coal piles. And then they can do something useful. You know, obviously I don't like using child labour, but it might just be necessary to keep our coal production going for the time being. 10 hours, is that enough? That's going to get us to about 7:30 in the morning. We'll have an hour and a half to start collecting. Of course, the automaton will start working throughout the night. But our coal balance is now getting back to where it should. Promise these steam hubs are taking up a lot of stuff for us. Let's also have a look at the Book of Laws, because we've done nothing there in a while. We can go for adaptation or purpose. We'll have a look at purpose. We can go for patrols. Reduce discontent, and each use will raise slightly. Patrol, I mentioned that's a natural... Yeah, that's something we actually have to... It's a natural ability. We can go for prison, but that feels like a bad idea. Propaganda Centre feels like a slippery slope. So let's sign in a patrol. That'll buy us a bit of time with discontent and hope. In terms of tech, Outpost Depot was the one we wanted to get wood, but lighter scout sleds would be nice. Just get them moving faster. Because they actually provide some pretty useful bonuses. I wonder if we'd do that one first. Because we have a little bit of wood to work with. And now we do have our sawmill. Let's go for that, because getting them to move faster is really rather useful, I think. Let's speed up time and see what happens. Let's also actually have a look at the guard house. Guard station. So, okay, patrol. Cost 10 food rations. Discontent will fall and hope will rise slightly, but we would have to provide them with extra food. And food is not doing very well either. Okay. Do we have a food? There's a public house there. Hunter's hut. Well, we can add some more people in for a little bit more efficiency. We do also have hot house here, but it's too cold. I think that's the problem. If we put on the heater, it wouldn't be. And we'll put some people in to get food, because I think the food is also a bit of a concern as well. But now with that hot house back on, we should be in a better spot, I would hope. And I think we do just have to work on late shifts at this point. We can't afford to waste the day. Especially stuff like the gathering post. We are really on a nice edge here in terms of our coal production. Oh, dearie me. The steelworks, we're running around the night. How is that too cold? It's cold. It's not great. Let's also have a look at our sawmill. I think sawmill we'll have to put onto the later shift. I think everything's just going to have to work on late shifts going forward. I don't really see any alternative options, to be honest with you. Okay, let's speed forward time, see what happens. If anything, there is something happening here. Another theft from the Londoners. We are going to send guards to catch them. We can't afford to lose our food. Because, again, like the coal, we're on a knife edge. I think something went wrong there. Guards failed. One of our people has died. One of our guardsmen has been beaten to death while chasing the Londoners. We caught one of the thieves, but he's not the murderer. What should we do with him? We can lock him up. Requires prison. We can banish him. Discontent will rise. Again, we're going to banish him. It's not ideal. Discontent's rising because we had a guard killed. Not ideal. And we lost, and we didn't get the food back either. We won't bring him back, but it's the right thing to do. At least James Archer agrees with me. Oh, goodness me. Less than a day of food rations. Let's actually have a look at our food economy, because I imagine it's not great. It's just about managing. Can we put people back onto soup? It's not going to make them very happy, but it will keep them alive. I can't work out where I'm trying to find... Cookhouse, that's the one. It'll produce just that little bit more soup, and that's what we need at the moment. We just need more food rations. And we do have the very cold period coming up as well, which I'm not looking forward to particularly. But as soon as the new automaton is done, we can work through that second automaton can also work through the night as well. The Londoners gain more followers, they're up to 63 now. Not great. Not great at all. Oh boy. I could make everyone warmer, but I want to save the overdrive for this really cold period. Between day 26 and day 27, so at least some people will be able to be warm. Not everyone will be, but at least some people will be, and I think that's the main thing. Some people start working again now, so we've survived the night in terms of our coal production. Our food production is getting dire as well. Oh, goodness me. Okay, let's have a look at our factory. They must be close to finishing off this This automaton. And I think we will produce another... We'll produce pretty much as many automatons as we can going forward, because they don't feel the cold, and that's very important. Automaton will be about to be done here, which will be excellent. Built to serve. Wonderful. Where do we want to put him? We can also build some prosthesis. I don't know if that's the best use of our time. There's a steelwork here where you can send the automaton to. Wooden crates. We could send someone out to the coal pile to get some more coal for us. Might not be a bad idea. Or he can join the other coal thumper here, and I think we'll do that. So we'll get the second automaton now. And what's the name of this one? This one's called the Red Celt. Oh, I like that. That's a cool one. So let's have a look at it being built. Oh, that's cool. And off he goes. Excellent. That might solve our coal issues, to be honest. Or at least buy some time. Everyone has work to do. Everyone's getting on with it. These scouts can take a while to actually get anything useful. Let's actually have a look at them. We could maybe get another scout team down. If we need a few more workers, really. We've got a lot of people there doing the sawmill. Okay, what can we do? Well, who do we not... We need 5 workers from somewhere. Because I think getting a third scout team is important. I don't really want to take people off food. I don't know, can we put an automaton in the hothouse? I'm guessing we can't. But one way to find out. I'm completely disorientated. Where am I looking for? Is there a way to actually see it if I go to, like, food, hothouse? Oh yeah, highlights over them, good. Well, we can put an automaton in here, that's good. Might be a good idea. Let's... Oh, they're all engineers here, that's interesting. We can take the engineers... Oh, I don't know. Let's... It depends how much food this or... Because food is going down. It's on a very slim margin, our food production. But I want to get a few more workers from somewhere. If we take 1, 2, 3... There we go. Down to 2.6 steel now. It's not perfect. But it would allow us to get another scouting team out. I do think that is an important thing to do if we can. Okay, we need to build a new beacon, I see. How much is it for a new beacon, just out of interest? It would be... 20 wood and 35 steel. We also, I don't think, can build... I think we can only build 1, that's the problem. There must be a tech or something that we can do in order to increase the amount of scout teams we can take out. Let's go and check. Fast outpost teams, additional scouts, there we go. Well, we can't get that till quite a lot further on. So that kind of makes a decision for us. So we'll send these guys back out to get the minerals. We've got 1 worker and 1 engineer. Okay. We've got people in the gathering post, don't we? Yes, we do. We'll also send a couple of people out manually, I think, to get some coal. Just with kind of our remaining amount as well. Our coal situation now might stabilise with that second automaton, because if people can go a little bit of time without food, but if the cold gets, you know, if there's no heat, then we have a problem, really. Okay, I feel like crisis has been somewhat averted for the time being. But it's also because we're cooking soup, which is not great. Some people are sick, thankfully not gravely. I want to really hold on to the steel, because as soon as we get enough steel, we can get another automaton, and automatons are really useful. Really useful indeed. What I will, however, do, I'll take one of the engineers off here, and I'm going to put him in the factory, so that we have the speed that we need when we get 100 steel. We're not going to get another 100 steel today, I don't think. Even though they're working on the late shift. We can do a foreman run. And I think we'll do that. It only moves up to 5 steel, which is not great, but it's progress. And it might get us the steel in time. I don't think it will, however. But if we could at least start building the automaton tonight, I would take that as a success, really. Oh, goodness me. Okay, what do we have here? Guard station watchdog. Sir, a child came to the guard station and gave the guardsman a stuffed toy of a dog, telling them they should take it with them when they walk the streets at night. It seems people appreciate those who work hard to protect law and order in this city. I'm glad to hear that. How's our economy doing now? Let's have a look at our history, actually. It'd be quite intriguing to see. Oh, we had a really low bit there in terms of food. Or we can do the full history, actually. That's going to be more interesting. Coal management. Coal management we're doing okay. Probably because of the automaton. Wood we're doing okay, but that's a different kind. Wood and steel are a different kind of things to food and coal. Raw food gain. Food rations gain, food ration use. We're on a very tight we're on a very slim margin with our food. That's for sure. Because the hunters can only do so much. I think that's the problem. But the good thing about the hunters is that they don't have to. Because they go out and hunt, it means that they don't have issues with the cold when it gets too cold. I mean, that might change when it gets to really cold temperatures, but at least for the moment. We could build another hothouse, but that requires another steam core. That doesn't feel useful. Okay, lighter sleds. Excellent. These guys will move a bit quicker now. Let's see if we get... Do we want the outpost depot? That would get us wood permanently, and that means we wouldn't need to focus on wood in our actual area. Is there anything else we really need more, like heating or stuff like that? Improved heaters might be nice, but that requires more coal. Again, requires more coal. We could go for mechanical calculators. That gets us the next tier of tech. That's 150 metal. I'd quite like to save that, to be honest. How close are we to building another automaton? Is there any tech which doesn't require metal? Outpost depot requires 20 metal. There's probably something we can do here. Gathering process installation might be useful. We have quite a few of those. Large resource depot. Steam coal thumper. Coal mine. Everything requires wood and metal to some extent. Sawmill upgrade only requires 10. But that's only 25% efficiency, and we're probably not going to go for that going forward. We could go for the mechanical calculators, and that will get us into some new level of things. Efficient gathering. Generator power upgrade, generator range upgrade, also quite useful. Especially if we're going to go into a tougher period, but that's 50 metal and 100 wood. Ugh. Okay, there's probably there's something useful we can do with tech. Outpost depot, but again that requires so much... Okay, we'll do the outpost depot, we'll get that researched. It doesn't mean we're not going to get... I don't think we're going to get the automaton started tonight, sadly. But it's not like the metal workers can work through the night anyway, so we'll just have to deal with it in another way. But it is unfortunate, that's for sure. We could build a prosthesis, but that requires 2 hours of work. How many amputees do we actually have, out of interest? Is the way to see that. We have 18 amputees, so we could really get people back to work. Presumably they'll be less efficient, but we might just have to take that risk. But we don't have that much steel at the moment. This steel place is already operating and it's kind of max already. There is, I think, another way to... There's probably a way to increase that, or just we could get a second mine down. Closing the wrong thing here. If we go back to resources, we can get a... Where is it? War drill, steam steel works. And that kind of increases our steel per standard workday. It's quite useful. But it may not be the best option. Because this kind of requires our... You know, these guys can only work so hard, that's the problem. Although we do have someone in treatment at the moment, which is obviously not great. We could put the coal on, but our coal situation is actually starting to heal now, which is good. And food rations are doing okay, but as soon as it the temperature drops significantly, some people are going to have to stop working, that's for sure. Rest time, and we're about to go into the very cold period. But then there's a period of kind of not relaxation, because we'll be at minus 50, which is not great. The Londoners prey on the discontent, if you're persuaded. A member of the Londoners is talking to a crowd. He's trying to scare as many people into joining the exodus to London. But his visions of doom ring false in the ears of people who are content with the situation in the city. We can let him speak, chase the speaker away, and we can disperse the crowd, but people might get hurt. I really don't want more people joining the Londoners. It's not ideal. That's going to cause a lot more discontent, but that's only a temporary measure. But I don't want more people joining the Londoners, because once they leave, we're in a huge amount of trouble. They leave in 4 days' time. So not good at all. So they'll leave on about day 30, it seems. Burial ceremony starting the ceremony, that's okay. We can respect our deaths, that's not a problem. 18 amputees and 35 people in treatment. Not ideal. Not ideal at all. Some people are ill even with their amputations, which is not great. But at least we do have some amputations being halved as well. Londoners gain more followers. This is why I don't want to give them any more followers, really. Let's get through to the very cold time and see how things go there. Scouts have reached the snow cliff. Steam cores, wood and food. Excellent. Let's explore. The refugee from Winterhome. The man we've seen from afar was nowhere to be found. Searching his burrow, we found a diary of a scientist who fled Winterhome. After the starving city fell into chaos, its leader, an army captain, appointed himself absolute ruler. He tries to impose order using force. Plenty of people, disgruntled, deserted the city, and most of the others rebelled against him. One steam core, 70 wood, 99 food. We've also found a frozen grove, sorry. Okay, how long is it going to take for this tech to be done? Because I don't know if we want to start heading back that way instantaneously. That's only a 9-hour research, so we're actually going to head straight out to Winterhome in order to get this outpost team set up. What I don't know is if that's going to take up the entirety of this team. We don't get the resources, I'm not sure. But we'll go there and find out. They should be there by the time the tech is done. Let's speed forward and we're going to get to the very cold period again. We're going to drop minus 70. Right, straight away we're turning on the overdrive. And where are we at now? That also helps with the discontent as well. Some places are going to be too cold to work in, understandably. Okay, so these guys are going to come back off. As are these people here. We'll turn them off because we don't want the children dying. That's not going to do very well for morale. The steelworks will have to turn off. As will this sawmill. As will a whole bunch of stuff here. Can we get another steam? It's not ideal, but could we get another? We could get another. Hang on. Health, where is it? It's going to be in. There we go, Steam Hub. There's no real space to put it, that's the issue. I built this place so compactly. Okay, let's turn that off for a second. Consume 3 can call per hour, which isn't great. I'm just trying to find where the right area, the right place for this is. If we put it somewhere like there, just find the charcoal kiln, that would probably do the best. Like, let's say there. Because we can't. This is kind of quite an important part of our tech. This is the gathering post. This is the coal thumper. It's an important thing to hold on to, that's for sure. So as soon as that steam core is built, we'll just kind of look and see how this is going. It's under construction. We really need people to construct it as soon as possible. People are very cold, understandably. Let's now have a look at our steam map. Okay, we're making some progress. This gathering process is going to have to be turned off. There's no real chance of keeping that one on, that's for sure. It's just too cold. Okay, let's make sure everything else, which is The hunter's hut is too cold, but it's a hunter's hut, so it shouldn't be a problem really, because they work on a different operation really. And our other scout team have reached a fishing village. Okay, no place for the week. The fishing village used to supply Tesla City with food. Searching it, we found a letter. Mike, don't return to the city. Tesla is a madman. He cast out all the amputees, all the sick. Jerry's parents and old Beth are among them. There'll be blood, that's for sure, and soon. I see. Okay. So we could send a team here to start fishing. And we could build an outpost here. Or we can dismantle it for the wood. But I think we'll get the wood anyway. So I'm going to leave the village intact. We'll just take the steam cores. We'll go for the walled colony here. Or we can go for a Tesla City. I feel like Tesla City is probably more important. Although we might lose our chance of steam cores. We'll have to see. Speed up time a little bit. And then these guys have reached winter homes. So they can build an outpost here. Well, they're here. How do I do it? Is the tech done? I don't know if the tech's done. Oh, the tech's not done. There we go. Outpost depot reached. Wonderful. Now let's have a look. We can build an... How do we build the outpost team here? That's an interesting concept. Set an outpost team here to build an outpost. Do we do that via our scouting? Kind of via our scouting area? Via the beacon, perhaps? That hothouse is too cold. That's a problem. Because that's going to provide us with a lot of the food that we need. But we'll have to sort that problem out next time, I think. Where is our beacon? Our beacon is somewhere else. It's going to be over here. Okay, we need to see how we set up a... We need to see how we set up an outpost team. Because it's not overly clear. But I think we will leave it there. I'll try to figure out how to do that. And next time we'll get the outpost team set up. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.